Why would an artist work with a producer rather than doing everything by themselves? I think a lot of it has to do with the reach of your work. When one does everything themselves, you have a comfortability with the rhythms that you're choosing, with the instruments that you're choosing, with the arrangement that you're choosing, with the melodies that you're choosing. You're very, very comfortable with that. A producer can come in and explain to you other ways to approach your composition. Why would you need to have other ways to approach the composition, I guess would be the question. And what I found is that successful records use tried and true ideas, like when they say that Max Martin has a formula. Well, yeah, he does have a formula, and the formula works. I can listen to somebody's record and hear that they are trying everything in their power to not use the formula, to not use Max Martin's formula, to not use Charlie Puth's formula, to not use anybody's formula. That's like me when I was a kid listening to Prince and saying, I'm going to do everything that Prince doesn't do. Well, guess what? Prince was doing everything. So if you're going to do everything that he doesn't do, there's no room for you. Everything you're doing is experimental. And you know how people gravitate towards experiments in music. That's not really a thing. People gravitate towards comfortability, familiarity in music. Now, innovation is a very, very small thing. If I'm familiar with the sounds in the music, the melodies in the music, the way that the person is singing, and then there's something just slightly different, that's more of the reality of what happens with recording. A producer, especially someone like me that's been listening to music for many, many decades now, when I listen to a song from somebody that's 20 years old, I literally can hear a reference of something that happened in 2000. Or 2010. And guess what? The person that's 20 years old has never heard that song. I'm able to go and call up a song that's actually successfully done what the 20-year-old is attempting to do. And then I can offer it to the 20-year-old and say, you can learn from the people that have done this well, or you can just keep trying to throw it at the wall and try to find something that sticks. So a producer is kind of like a coach. The professional basketball and football and hockey and baseball, they're paid millions of dollars to hit the ball, throw the ball, put the ball in the hoop. Why do they have a coach? Because a coach can see some of the foibles that need to be worked on. A coach can look at some of the nuances that need to be shifted in order to create a more connected result. I say connected as opposed to successful, because at the end of the day, you succeed with recordings when you're making connections with people. So if you're doing it by yourself and you're making connections, you don't need a producer. But every time you make a record and you put it out and you're not increasing the connections and generally working with a producer, I think one of the main tasks of a producer is showing the people that the producer is working with how to scale their music out to make more and more connectivity to more and more audience members.